Hello, welcome and welcome back to the Whole Bucket and to another Monday, Let's Make Journals. If you watched last week, you know that I am doing something called a Maker's Guild, a project that I purchased from Patty at Sacred Momentos, where she puts together a pack of stuff and you can buy it and see what you can do with it. What you might not recognize is what's sitting on my desk. A big fat mess is what is sitting on my desk, and this is for my project for the Makers Guild. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, where's the ballerina? Well, she got fired. Oh goodness. Okay. Okay, she didn't get fired. She's a fabulous ballerina. But when I was looking at this stuff, I changed my mind. So, what you can't see off screen is more mess that way and that way. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing instead of a ballerina. I'm going to do these. If you remember, these guys were in there and I said that this was a love story. I don't know what got on it. There's a spot on my picture. Unacceptable. I've decided that this picture looks like these people when they were younger or something, because she looks awful young and she looks older than whatever. Anyway, skip that. It's when they were younger and they met in Paris, and we're gonna do a bit of a love story instead of a ballerina. Yeah. So what you do see on my desk, and this is not just a big fat mess. It is a big fat mess, but it is a partial palette. The reason I say partial is because really it just has paper items, except for a couple of, it's got these two, physical items. God, good grief words. And then it has these. These are just cardstock, right? They're die cut, but they're not papers per se. We have some playing cards. Almost 80% of what I'm going to be using for this journal is stuff that I have gotten from Sacred Momentos. So far, anyway. I have pulled in a handful of things from my own. There are these cards. I pulled that in. Here is a beautiful picture because I decided they love walking on bridges and across rivers. Because here they were at the river. I don't know, because it's where they met, and it reminds them of their younger days, and now they take walks in the country along the riverside. I'm sure that's the thing. Here's a little thing about poetry, about nature. It says the folklore of animals, but this first paragraph right here says some cool stuff about how to regard nature. This, I believe, was in the pack. History of the Reparation and a Book of the United States. I think that was in the Artist Guild pack. This certainly was. This paper right here. These ledgers certainly were. Although I will cut the dates out because I don't want them to say 1994. But this is going to serve as kind of a base. So I don't care that it's not the right, not even the right century. How unauthentic. Because these guys were in a relationship in the 1880s. I'll show you how I know that in a minute. I have Prayer for the Helpless, Reward According to Character, because I like music paper, and these are from an 1800s book. Ooh. This This says 1915, but again, I'm going to keep this because if they were alive in 1880, I'm thinking they were alive in 1915 and still going strong. I'm cheating in a couple of places is actually what I'm confessing to. That was in the pack. This was all not in the pack, so I'm going to set this aside a second. This was in the pack. This is going to go in there somewhere. This, they call that kind of adornment. It has a name that I'm not going to think of anytime soon, I'm sure. I have this printable. So I printed out a few things that are an AI version of Paris, because this is apparently Paris. Eiffel Tower, and I tried to make sure that the architecture matched. So I pulled out some pictures where the architecture matches the item that was in the kit from Patty. I have this printable just because it's a lovely, what I think of as Victorian generic kind of paper. Now I can show you why I know that these guys were, you know, began their relationship in the 1800s somewhere, because oh, that's not good. Way too early for yawning. Way too early, lady. So the reason I know that they are in the 1880s is because of this photograph right here, because this is most likely from 1880 to 1885. So I looked up the history of cabinet cards, I looked up the history of this photographer, I looked up men's fashion in the 1800s, I looked up how to date cabinet cards. It is entirely likely that this particular cabinet card is from 1880 to 1885. So is her picture, and so is their trip, because that's when they met, when she was away studying art in Paris. And he fell in love, and she fell in love, and he decided to go home with her to the United States, the American Midwest, because this is in Michigan. So there, that's their story. What I have also, this, if you remember, is the folder. And I put the spine on because I was absolutely certain I knew just what I was going to do with all that ballerina stuff. And now I don't want any of this. So I'm either going to tear it off, completely cover it up, or work it into the plan. I don't know which. I don't know. But take a look. I have plans. I have notes. I have plans. And I kinda know what I'm gonna do. And we're gonna turn this folder and all of these supplies into a lap book journal styled after an 1880s stationery collection desk, travel desk thing. If that sounds complicated, it's because it is, and I am excellent at overcomplicating projects. Excellent at it. Also in the palette, 3 pieces of parchment paper, a greenish kind of cream, a pink, and a blue, because it sort of goes with all of the stuff I showed in there. This piece of scrapbook paper, because this goes with the whole thing, and it kind of mixes blue and green and gray and cream and all that stuff. But look at the other side. Whoa, this has all the other stuff. Pink and flowers and text and music, and that one just had to go in. I have a piece of vellum paper that has printed laces on it. Not sure how I will use that, but it's going in there, I'm telling you. Those are almost the same. Are those is that a flip of it? It is, isn't it? It is paler and a little bit offset, but it is just a flip. Huh, okay. And a bridge, because I have already established that these people have a fondness for bridges and rivers. They do, I'm telling you. I have this interesting paper. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with it because all of the little corners and stuff are starting to get bent. But the Victorian age is known for being extremely ornate. And I do believe I have cut off more than I can chew in this project. At least in what my brain thinks this project should and is going to be. Here is a scrapbook paper that I happen to have 3 sheets of. It's a little too bright, but when I put this with that whole palette, with that whole, gosh darn it, what do you call it when you pull all your mood board stuff? There we go. When I put it together with all the mood board stuff, it really goes, even though it's a little brighter than the stuff, right? So that needs to be on hand. I pulled in 2 sheets of this because damask and Victorian, hello, and a blue-gray that matches it and matches some of the other stuff, just to have a plain, you know, backing or base or whatever. Lastly, in the paper department anyway, because this has nothing to do with hardware. It has nothing to do with ribbons and other fabrics and, oh goodness, I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with inks or stencils or the insane amount of possibilities. But I have this pack. I sell this in my store. You know what I did? I stole it from myself. Oops. I actually have some of this that I saved for myself, right? It's not just for sale. I have some, but my studio's not all put back together yet, and I want to do this project. So I stole my own inventory. Oops. Anyway, I'm going to use this in the pack because I want to stay quite a bit authentic to late 1800s. Yeah, some of the, I mean, you saw it. There's a piece that is dated into 1915, and there's probably some earlier 1800s stuff too. But the stuff that is authentic is authentic. I'm not saying it all is. Obviously, scrapbook paper, right? Some of it's printed, some of it is AI art, but there is a lot in that stuff, and definitely in here. This is 100% legit. But there's a lot in what I'm putting together for this project that is straight up legit antique-y stuff. Anywho, this is a kit I have. Like I said, I sell this. I stole it from my own place. I decided that he is an accountant, and that's why I'm going to get away with using all the ledger, and I'll get away with using some of this stuff. This is from Little Dorrit. I also bought all of this stuff. I think all of it. I bought most of this stuff also from Sacred Momentos. Don't get too much in a tizzy. The books that I buy If I tore them apart, they were definitely tear apart condition. Okay, I don't buy really special stuff and then tear it to shreds. There's a couple of chapters from Godey's Ladies book. It was almost too nice to cut up, but that's because it was my first one, not because it was in great condition. Just saying. So we'll probably use some of this for background stuff. We'll use some of this for cards and tags, what have you, all the usual stuff that goes into our journals. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this because this is a pack that I call the large 1800s pack, and each one of them has one of these. And this is an original plate from the book, and this is one of the ones that's, I mean, you can see it's in color. Hello. I didn't really need to say that part out loud, did I? But I'm not sure how I'm going to use this or if I'm going to use this. I might put together a new pack out of my own supply when I find it and put this in there because this is my first lap book. I've got lofty ideas for this. Who knows if it's even going to turn out? And these are kind of a special item. Not even kind of. They're a very special item. So I'm not entirely sure where this color plate will end up. But it might end up in this book. Who knows? Here is a portrait of George Washington. Who knows? Maybe our accountant man from this love affair admires George Washington, and that's why he was so willing to follow his love and move to her country, America, the United States of America. Maybe. I don't know if George Washington is going in this either. Who knows? I don't know what this is. I think this might be from a book that I bought, and I don't remember what book it is. I bought elsewhere, I mean. It is a dictionary encyclopedic style, though. It's got, this is an all-text chapter. I'm assuming this then is an with illustrations chapter, maybe of the same book. Oh, yeah. You know what? This has, I remember what this is now. This is a lot of biographies. Lots and lots and lots of encyclopedic biography thing. Very, very important people. And this was written in the 1800s at some time or another. Then, some more authentic ledger. This one is seriously authentic, and it's from 1865. Oh, to 1891. Oh, no, that's 71. It's from a long time ago. It's from the late 1800s. 1866. So that will go in there somewhere, and then there's my favorite part, I think. I think this is my favorite part. This is from an 18-something Bible, German. And gosh darn it, it's got that old German font stuff in it. I just love that stuff. So I've got one folio with a Jacob with an angel. The borders are all exactly the same. And the font is just amazing. Love it to pieces. Let's see what this bit is. This is a whole signature. This is a whole signature from the same Bible. I'm a little surprised it doesn't have a picture in it, though. I thought it was supposed to, but maybe not. Maybe it's a signature of text and just a folio with a photo or a print. in any case, this will be used in some fashion or another because it is very Victorian. Both just the Bible theme and the artwork and, you know, whatever. Okay, there we go. That is the whole paper side of the mood board for this. I will be moving on from this. Right now though, because I'm having such a hard time getting my head around this project, we're going to do something simple to kind of get going. I'm going to leave this out and this. I will leave this out because why not? And this, let's see, are these both just plain? Oh, there's a sonnet in there. I don't want to cut that up yet because that I might have to read it and see if it would go in their, it would go in their memory book, wouldn't it? Retiring from the cares of life. I don't know how you do that, but I might need to read that too. It must be a self-help book. 4th of July doings. Okay, so this piece is to an invalid girl on presenting 2 rosebuds. I'll keep that out. I'll put these aside for later. I will keep Jacob aside for later. And I will keep this out. These 2 are the I Don't Knows, a George Washington print etch and a original plate from Godey's Ladies Book. Ooh. Okay, so put that aside. Put this aside. I'm gonna leave this out. And goodness, I don't know what else. I don't know what else, peeps. I think this, I don't know that we need that because there's a bunch of other things that are going to meet that purpose. And I'll show you, I promise, I'll get to the point of what the heck we're doing in just a minute here. I swear, but I got to think over on the side. Let's put those out. I must think to the side over here. Let's put those out. Okay, none of this. That's all for later. Let me just look through these. No, I think I'll save these for later too. Alright, so this is all I'm leaving out right now. And what we're going to do, and I'm finally getting to the gist of it, we're going to make a couple of master boards. And we're going to use this stuff right here to do so. Because I can't quite get my head around the feel of this project. So, in order to get my head in the game better than it has been, I will make a couple master boards with you tonight. At least 2 on this cardstock. Hopefully that will help. Then later on, I will do some more stuff gathering. Let's do 2 at once, and let's do just this. Let's do 1 vertical and 1 horizontal. Since this is a very tall folder, I might appreciate having vertical, although I don't usually do things vertical that much. But I think we're just going to start with some big chunks. And I think I'm going to cut everything with my ruler. I think we're just going to tear this apart. Okay, 1994. So I'm going to start, when I start with the ledger paper, I'll use this. And actually I'll use this one with the writing on it because I don't care that much about 1994 ledger stuff. I care about the aged look of ledger paper because it's awesome. But I don't care about the writing part on that side. So I'm just going to do that. There we go. We're going. We're off into the races. We're off to the races, peeps. And I'm not going to be edging corners. I mean, I'm not going to be inking edges. You know what I meant. Oh my gosh, look at that. Ah, that is ridiculous. What is wrong with my glue stick? Okay, this is not a good thing. I will be getting a new glue stick as soon as I have repaired this situation. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. Yikes. There might not be any fixing that situation. One sec. Okay. Let's try that again. I think I will tear off a new section. Oh, wait a minute though. This has the numbers on it I want. Gosh darn it. We're going to make this work. I'll use the new glue to spread the old glue around. Is it going to help me? It actually is helping a little bit. And then to get it not too bumpy, I will get a bone folder quick and make it squooshed. We will squoosh the bumps right out of this puppy. Okay. Ready? Some serious squooshing, man. Look at that. Yikes. What a mess. Alright. Squoosh the other direction. That totally worked though. I mean, it's still a big fat mess. I've got glue everywhere right off the bat, but you know, that is still super smooth. So, yeah, alright, I got away with that. I don't recommend that. Check your glue stick before you put it on your paper because, you know, if it's a little too dried out, it's going to make a gigantic mess. And now I have glue all over my table. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Sorry, peeps. Let me just get some of this off quick. I'm just pulling some of the ink off my board too. So it was just a cleaning process. That's all. I didn't actually make a mistake. That was a figment of your imagination. Okay, I think on the horizontal one, I'll just use this section right here because those are the cool bits. So let's tear that off, and I, in a lot of ways, really like the holes on the edges, but I don't want it right now. So I'm gonna save that piece, put that over there, and we'll go ahead and do this. Someday, a ledger from the 1990s will be just as amazing as a ledger from the 18 whatevers is now. And I will be very sad that I didn't save this and send it down to the generations after me, I'm sure. But I won't be around to know that, so, you know, so be it. I think I'll put this down in this corner too. Masterboard by Formula. Okay, here we go. Now, I said that I should bring this back. I'm going to bring this back because it needs to have more than one piece of that. But right now, it's going to get Bible page because I love old German font. Seriously, just cannot get enough of the old German font stuff. I just tore God right in half. I'm assuming that's God up there anyway. I guess I don't really know, but I think that's who that is up there in the clouds. I think I'm going to tear this pillar because I really love this pillar. So we'll save that for somewhere. Yikes. And I do not want the cloud bits right now. So I'm going to take those right off of there. And let's maybe put this right here. Oh, okay. Put that right there. Okay, we can tear it off a little bit. I don't know what I've done with my favorite small ruler. What did I notice? We're going to tear this off. Oh, right here. Der 133 Psalm. I wish I could read German. No way, Jose. But it would have been fun to read this. Read the Bible enough times. I don't need to read it in German too. It'll be all right. All right. Now we need a little bit of We need a little bit of Bible page for the other one too. Should I just put the pillar on? Like up here? Like so? Maybe, but not yet, because it would be kind of a, I don't want it to get too covered. It would be better if it was saved for the later bits. Right now there should still be a lot of overlap happening. So I will tear this down pretty much the same way as the last one. Saving all my favorite bits. Look at, we have some bold text. It really is kind of ridiculous how excited I get about fonts. I've always been that way though. It's acceptable. Do you want to just put that there? Overlapping the, we're still overlapping the ledger. Sure. Why not? don't think I've ever done 2 masterboards at the same time where I'm basically copying the pieces and the placement. I realized that they're 2 different shapes, so of course they're not, you know, 100% copied. I'm still saying I don't think I've ever done this. All right, set the Bible page aside, set the ledger aside. Let's make sure we get some numbers. This one's just paragraphs, and this one's actually got some number works in it. I think I'll save these for up higher in the works, and let's go ahead and get maybe a paragraph. General bookkeeping, double entry bookkeeping, definition of books, and banks of discount, banks of circulation. All right, well, I like this right here for one, and I guess this one doesn't really matter. So we'll just call this general bookkeeping. I'll tear this right here. So each of them have a header of sorts and a corner of sorts. I think I like that one right there. And I think that means we have to put this one right here. Now I want this on the other side. And I want this on this one. Do I? I do. I want this one over here. I want this one over here. Because of the side I glued it on and where this border is going. And then I better get this one right. Is this going to be right? It is. So I think I'm going to put it right there. And I think I'm okay with that. Okay. Okie dokie pokies. Okay, let's put that aside, and the book, or the page with the number tables, because I think I want to save those for, like I said, I want to save those for higher up. I think we need Little Dorrit, because I loved that story. I don't think there's anything interesting in here. Ooh, no, I might be wrong. Wait a minute. Aw, he does not look very happy. He does look a little bit like our guy, though. Okay, maybe he stayed in Paris a little after they met. Where's the picture? I'll get it out later, but that looks like the younger picture of him. He stayed in Paris at his job, and he was sad and heartbroken, and he had to move to America because his lady was there. Okay, kind of like this. Save that for later. I also have to save this picture because now it's part of our story. But let's put some text on here. Oh, this page tears easy. Yikes. Alright, we'll just do this page. And we'll just do straight up text. So I will chop off the header. And I will approximate the center. And I'm going to take off this bottom bit because that is just way too much blank. I'll leave the sides on though. Right there looks pretty good. And this one would be right here. And that covers up all my numbers that I like so much. So we're not going to do that. We'll have to do something different. We're going to have to do something different. So I thought I was going to leave the extras, but I'm not. So I'm going to do that. And then I will tear this off right at the edge. So it just fits in here. Come on, do what I want you to. It would be much easier if I tore it after the fact, but I'm a stubborn little twerpy butt. And apparently I wanted to cut now. All right, so we get this one in place. That is an exact meet up and edge, which I'm never really particularly happy about. And now I've torn it to shreds, so I guess I know where that one's going to be overlapping. This one kind of fits in its space. But since I have the other one exact meeting, I'm going to make this one exact meeting as well. Goodness sake, I have glue everywhere. So we'll just chop that one right there. Let go of me. I am quite gluey. Okay, there we go. Down in the corner with you. Come on, straighten out. Get your act together. Yes, I'm talking to the paper. Do you talk to your paper? I bet you do. I bet you do. I bet we all do. Okay, so I don't know about this. So I love the age of this paper, but the font isn't anything special, and there's nothing special on the pages. But you know what? It is that tiny, tiny printing. And it will still look good as a background, won't it? So, yeah. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to take one, and we'll just put a column of text on each one. I will save the header again because it's cool, that's why. 4th of July doings. I'm going to chop off the bottom because there's just too much bottom. I will also tear off the sides because I have already taught myself that even when I say I want to leave the sides, I don't like leaving the sides, so I end up chopping them off anyway. But I will save these pieces because they are nice, aged, authentic papers. These will be used somewhere. They will be. In the meantime, okay, in the meantime, I'm going to actually chop this off too and save that because I like that. Then we'll just chop this in half right down this decorative line. So nobody gets it, so there can't be anybody jealous. Oh yeah, ow. And then we'll find a place for this. I think right about here is a possibility. And for this one, right about here to cover up the boo-boos. That looks like a good place for that column that I saved from earlier. So these boards are starting to branch off from each other and get their own personalities. Right now with this piece. So I'm tucking this right into that section of the ledger. Covering up the boo-boo bit. I think I want glue on this piece. Goodness sakes, I think I'm pushing too hard. I'm breaking my new glue stick to bits. A little less aggression, lady. A little less aggression. Okay. Here we go. And we're going to pull this down, I think, to the first chapter indent. That seems like a good place. Next, our biography book. He is definitely not going in. I don't know who that is. I haven't read it yet, but no. None of the little pictures are going in because I think I want to use that little picture for something. He is the world's first nerd. Yeah, I don't think I'm putting in any of these little pictures. So I need to look for a section like maybe that one, because I don't think he's going in anything either. But, oh, there's one that's just text. Oh, so is this one. Okay, I'm going to rip this off. So, let's use this piece minus a bunch of spare. Minus a bunch of the spare bits. Come on, lady. There we go. Moving along now. Moving along now. And I'm going to chop up the headers because I might want to use these somewhere else because they're cool. I might use the one that says a Rob in a pirate journal. That'd be kind of funny if it was just filled with secretly placed words and such. I find that kind of thing hilarious. I don't find this hilarious though. I just accidentally glued my papers together and then wrecked them. Okay, there we go. Alright, so how are you going to fix that, girl? I think I'll just do this. I think I'll just do that, and then that can just tear off there. And I think I'm going to do this one somewhat similar and tear it off right about there. So it can go right in that space. That one will go right there. This one here. That's a little lopsided, but yes. So that one will get torn off right about there. Oh man, now look. Oh, things are getting a tad ridiculous. Or a lot ridiculous. I am actually going to try to put this piece where it belongs. Okay. Okay, that's not great, but it'll get fixed when we put this stuff to use. Masterboards are not actually masterboards in the way a lot of us junk journalers use them. I do have some masterboards that I've actually kept as actual masterboards from my Something Wicked journals. I made some masterboards that are absolutely in my stash and probably going to stay that way because they were quite difficult to pull the pieces together, at least at that time. So I don't want to chop them up. All right, let's see. I don't think I'm going to use this by itself. Not only is it likely to warp, although I do have my no warp glue, don't I? Yep. But it doesn't, I don't want it showing the cardboard underneath. It'd be more fun as an overlay, I think. We'll use that elsewhere. What's this? Book of the United States. This is appropriate. Our guy kind of was in love with the United States. That's why he moved there. Well, that's one of the reasons he moved there. Maybe that was the excuse he told his parents he was moving there. Because maybe they didn't approve of his love. But he said, no, no, no. I'm going because I just love the United States. I swear that's the real reason. And they just bought it. Because apparently parents just believe whatever their sons tell them. So there. I mean, he didn't want to lie to his parents, but they kind of made him. Alright, so I'm going to put this one across the way over here. That was kind of lopsided, but it'll do. It'll do. How are we doing on time? Oh my goodness, we are way over time. This has not been a very productive evening. I apologize. I hope that you are just having me on the background and that you're kind of crafting along with me, because it is really the best way to think of my particular videos, that we're just crafting along with each other. This one is going to go over here, and I'm going to hit the pause button because I need to finish some stuff up, and I need to show you what I end up with. And you know, there's only 6 minutes and 9 seconds left. I'll be right back. Okay, so in the last couple of minutes, I'll say a bunch of stuff I always forget to say. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me which stages of this kind of art that you'd like to see me make sure I film, because look, I finished this. I put a layer of tissue bits on, and now I pulled out some stamps, and I'm doing some stamping, which means a bunch of stuff doesn't get recorded, but a bunch of stuff does, and I can change that up so that sooner or later all the different steps of a process will be recorded. Although I have recorded full masterboards before. So you can go backwards and take a peek if you want, or you can request a thing if you want, or you can just put me on as background noise. I appreciate all of it. Check out Patty at Sacred Momentos. for all kinds of antique bits. What else? I don't know. Tune in next week where we'll talk much more about what's going to happen to this lap book, secretary desk, some vintage Victorian stationery love story thing. Good grief, girl. What in the world is the matter with you? Honestly, I don't know why I have to overcomplicate every project I do, but I do. So there. This is not turning out great, as you can see. Like, that's all muddled, and this is not, and that's kind of dark and then light and whatever. It's because I'm stamping on a bunch of different layers of paper and some glue and a bunch of different textures and what have you. And it's okay because this is all likely to end up background stuff. So if it's looking kind of raggedy and you're wondering why I'm letting it be so raggedy, that is why. Because in the end, it is not likely to matter too terribly much that a bunch of this looks less than perfect. I'm getting texture down. I'm getting interest down. I'm getting, well, like I said earlier, getting my brain to be in the flow of this project. I'm getting, in the case of this stamp right now, I'm getting some of these edges of paper joined together and a little bit masked, a little bit clouded. You can do that a ton of different ways too. You can do it like I'm doing with some stamps and some tissue paper. You can do it with gesso. You can do it with all of the above. You can do it with paints, stencils, what have you. This is actually not done by a long shot. This is I mean, once I turn this into tags and pockets and tucks and whatever this turns out to be, it will look vastly different than it looks currently. That was a mistake. I should not have done that. This is a very strange placement right here. And it's too samey same with that one. And it's, oh my gosh, I don't like that at all. That's probably going to end up being covered up completely. I'm just saying. Oh, the other thing I did is I backed the whole thing with tissue or tea-dyed paper. So now these are ready to be writable, write-onable, what have you. However you want to say that. But I'm not going to do any more without ya. So I'm going to close down for the night. And we'll just take a look at the master boards I ended up creating. So there is that one. Move all the junk out of the way. And here is the tall, skinny one. And next week we might end up making the form of this thing. Like all the hardware pieces. All right. Bye. Whoops. Suni, hold on 1 second. Bye. See you next week.